Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 5th round of the KCG Season 3 in the Formula 3 cars. Today we will race at a frankly new track, the TT Circuit Assen, home track of Roxy. Meanwhile my overlay is bugging a bit, but let's just continue. Yeah, as always we've got a few things to talk about. First off, we might have the smallest grid since Nürburgring in Season 2. Because currently we have 7 drivers with an 8th driver on the verge of joining, let's say. But yeah, Assen, new track. At least I think it came out 4 or 5 months ago. Or in December of last year, so it's still quite new compared to other tracks. And obviously a new challenge for all of the drivers, as I think none of them before have raced this track in Formula 3 or even at all. And therefore it could be very interesting. I'm already on the timing screen. I saw various names, which were not just the Mackenbergs on top. So a lot of things that can happen during those races today. Also in the championship, it could be a big decider, or let's say, yeah, it could be a decider basically. But we will take a look at the standings. Just so you know, the race is very significant now. And yeah, let's just hop in onto the action. We are currently watching Matthias Friedrich. No, we are watching Marvin Mackenberg. It's just the overlay not working probably. Yeah, obviously together with his brother are the two guys up top in the standings. In training they were split in terms of lap times, but I don't know how much Sven was sandbagging. But yeah, between those two it will be very interesting, because if we take a look at the standings now, you can see that Sven Mackenberg has a small lead, but only 12 points. And this season obviously gives you 25 points for a win. So you already gain 7 points if the car, or if Marvin would win, he would gain 7 points if Sven could come second. Should also already be quite a big gain. And either way, Sven could basically wrap up the championship today, or Marvin can get close. Or it will, so everything is possible between those two. Then in P3, a comfortable P3, Radoslav Piatkowski. Yeah, basically shines with consistency. And yeah, 115 points. Will be very hard to catch up to the Mackenbergs, I don't think he will. But it's also pretty safe to the cars behind, especially as Bolizar is not able to race today, unfortunately. He was the only one who maybe could have got a bit closer. But yeah, that's the top 3 and position 4. Then Matthias Friedrich, who got more pace during the season, so he might still be on to catch Bolizar or Nosh. It's not that far off, 22 points currently, 23 points, sorry, but I think it could be catchable for him, and depends on if Bolizar Vezinosh can race the final round at the Red Bull Ring, obviously. But between those two it can be close. Obviously Roxy, same for him, as he's on the same point Sally, and also both had their duels in the recent races. So for those two, a lot is open still, and will be also very close between those two. Yuval Rosen, yet again, not able to race, unfortunately, still on his 43 points from the first round. Still impressive to be 7th, with only have raced 2 races out of 10. Or 8 have been raced. Then Henrik Andreasen, who also isn't here today so far. I don't know if he will join later on. I don't think so, but unfortunately not here right now. 41 points. Also worked his way up after joining a bit later in the season. Florian Arendt, who was always a bit unfortunate during the races, on 40 points. So for him, also with the times he set here, the TC Circuit Assen, a lot of possibilities for him to still move up the order. And then we've got Rubik Cavaro in 10th, also not able to race today, but he also got his points during the races. To finish first, you first have to finish like that. Yeah, it didn't really have the pace, if you're honest, but he really was there to catch up the scraps, let's say. And still got him 10th so far. But yeah, as I said, he unfortunately can't race today. But we might have a newcomer who will join later in the qualifying session. So let's put the standings away for now and watch what they are doing in qualifying. Only 4 drivers have set a lap time so far, but already very close between the Mackenbergs. 1:28.9 is also a very strong time. You can also take a look at the leaderboards while they do it. Václav Piatkowski taking rather easy with 8th off, but just having a lap time in is already very good. Josh Friedrich a bit further up. Florian Arendt, Marco Chadron, who is a guest starter today, I will come back on him a bit later. And Roxy currently not on a time. I think they are still driving. Florian Arendt now for his first timed lap. 1:29.2. It's also very strong, only 3/10 behind the Mackenbergs. Marco Chadron sets his first time. Roxy just on the verge of starting. Getting a bit too much on the curb. Curbs are very tricky in those cars, as you easily can beach them, but we will take a lap or take on the lap with one of the drivers later on in the session, once we got through all the important stuff. So if we take a look at the leaderboards, I just need to click the right one. It's taking a bit too loud, but obviously today with the update, it was very lucky that the race could even take place today. It was very close, needed to find a different host as Captain Coffee couldn't do it today, but everything worked out in the end. Also a big shout out to Mr. Git for hosting a server for today. Really huge thanks to him, wouldn't have been possible without him, I guess. So yeah, very cool from him to just basically say, here you got your server, tell me the settings and I'll do it. Yeah, basically saved it. So big shout out. Also doing YouTube stuff and so on, so go check him out. Should just find him at Mr. Git on YouTube or on the Racing Discord. He also has the content creator role, so you should find him pretty easily. So, leaderboards have loaded and we see the Mackenbergs on P2 and P3 with 29.2 and a 29.6, 29.6 and a 29.67. Sorry. But obviously the leaderboards are done with high fuel, so obviously we'll see lower lap times here on the server where they can run on low fuel. Then 2/10 behind or 1.5 behind Florian Arendt with 29.8, also a very good time. And then it's a bit to Kasper Castellan, who also isn't here so far. There we got, it's not loading so far. Take a look at them in a second. Also isn't here, he raced, yeah, not last week, the week before at Hungaroring. Also got some points there. But yes, so far isn't here today, unfortunately. Would be nice to see him. I think he's in the same team as Mateusz Friedrich. So those two could have had a good time together, let's say. With a 1:36, so a bit further up the road. Same for Friedrich, he basically set the same lap time. Marco Chadron also not far behind. Then we've got Roxy 1:31.1. But I think that weren't that many laps. Can't see it, how many laps you do have, unfortunately. That's it for the leaderboard, from what I can see. Can't find anyone else who set one from our people. But yeah, that's to the leaderboard. Meanwhile, Marvin Mackenberg is still on the same position. Radoslav Piatkowski, a very strong third with 1.5 tenths to Marvin. I'm still honest 20, what is it? 29108? 29518. Oh, that's a lot. 29308. Really should practice reading at some point. But yeah, very close. Obviously, the top 4 will be very close together on this track, especially with the slipstream on the backstretch. I at least presume we've got 2 places where slipstream really can make up a lot of time. More to that in a second. Josh Friedrich in P5, a bit of a gap, but still able to run with them, I guess, during the race. He always was a bit further back in the qualifying usually, and then made up during the race. And just picked up position after position, especially at Spa, I think it was the case. Markus Chadron, obviously also a very strong driver, especially on the Nordschleife. I mean, he's part of the GT Rennserien community, which is like focused around the Nordschleife. I know every inch of the track and every name of each bump. So, yeah, might call them Nordschleife specialists. But yeah, he's also pretty fast in other cars as well, and on directly being only 1.6 seconds behind is not too bad, considering how fast the Mackenbergs are in those machineries. Yeah, and VoxDB just got in front of him with the 1:34.69. And he's also one, he jumps in and just needs a bit of time, and then usually he's on pace. And then the newcomer Gabe Bingham, sorry. Yeah, he said himself he will probably be way off the pace. I don't know, I haven't seen him race so far. I mean, even though he's struggling. But that's no problem in KCG. I don't know what... That is a bit of an internet issue, I guess. I don't know. But obviously we don't have a pace entry barrier of some sort. But yeah, we want to give people the opportunity to improve by just watching, and struggles a bit with the car. But yeah, maybe he will catch on during the race and try to find some pace. And also, if you have problems with the car, want to learn it a bit more, you always have the opportunity to just ask on our Discord. We are very open to helping people out, especially some of the pros. I remember Christian Goethe texting a lot, giving a lot of advice. Also, Mackenbergs texted quite a lot. So there's really lots of people who would give you advice if you need to. And yeah, as long as you drive fair, you're always welcome. Let's look at the top times. VoxDB, meanwhile, improved once again. That's what I meant. He just finding some pace. Well, only 7/10, so improved by another 8/10. Well, I do stuff I shouldn't do. All good now. So yeah, it's 5 minutes. Let's see who's beginning another lap. Thrown out. Yeah, let's... He's just warming up his tires on the backstretch. As in the backstretch, it's not really a backstretch, it's the run to the start-finish line. So yeah, now you enter the final chicane. Can really take a lot of curb. You really need to maximize the exit, maximize speed through the turns, but not touch the curb on the left-hand corner. Then into turn 1, late braking zone, but hard braking zone, diving deep into the corner using the banking of the turn. And then this very long right-hander, you want to stay as much to the inside as possible during the 2 apexes, because you want to be as much to the right as you can for the left-hander, which is very sharp. Also one of the slowest turns on the whole calendar. Also the slowest turns in the DTM series. And then we've got the first longer straight, which will be important for slipstreaming. And then this very fast right-hander. Don't take too much curb on the inside or you will go flying somewhere else, Sanford or something. And then it's a series of high-speed turns where you can take a lot of curb. Some of them are a bit prone of giving you incident points, but usually they quite forgive a lot. But very, very high speeds through those turns, really carrying a lot of speed. And then this exit is very important because it's gives you the one to the long straight here, and you want to steer as little as possible through those turns to not lose speed to the aerodynamics, basically the air pushing your car into the ground. And this very long left-hander, it's all flat, and then again into the chicane at the end, taking a lot of curb but not touching the round curb on the inside there. This curb, if you take too much of it or even touch it, it can not only ruin your suspension obviously, it will also basically launch you into the air. Also seen cars basically doing front flips while landing, so you really want to avoid that. Oh, again, double right-hander. Said wanted to be more to the left hand, but you have a lot of options to take for this left hander as long as you get on the throttle very early. That is crucial for the straight and the corner itself, but you have a lot of opportunities. I think it will also be an overtaking opportunities, just doing the dive bomb or trying to get the one up to the outside, so being on the right hand side before the left hander of the car in front, by taking a late apex in the two right-handers and then just doing a switchback. So there's a lot of room to play with, and especially at Assen with those small cars you really can do a lot, as you have the opportunity to go wheel to wheel through most of the corners. Some other tracks don't really allow. So yeah, that's great about Assen, I think. Also, as it's not a track that has been raised a lot by the people on the server, it's something very new, because for example at Spa, it's a track everybody knows in and out basically. So yeah, meanwhile Sven and Marvin improves to third place, overtakes Krystall and Marvin Mackenberg also set a new benchmark time meanwhile. But it's very close from Sven Mackenberg to Radoslav Piatkowski. But at Spa, basically everyone knows where you want to attack, because obviously you can try a move into Puhon or into Les Coms or whatever. I think if you... Les Coms, for example, you can do a move, but it's a bit tricky to pull off. But obviously you know, if you do a move into this corner or this, they will just get you on the one to Blanchimont, or on the one to... after Eau Rouge through the Camel Straight. So there you really know where you want to overtake to minimize counter opportunities. But meanwhile Gabe Bingham's game crashed again. It's very unfortunate. I hope it doesn't happen more often. But on this track, it's really something different, as it's not really there's no really the knowledge for racing it. Even if you know the racing line and you know where you maybe can attack, you don't know where the counter attacks might come, and you also can't really predict other people. And Mark also in the chat saying very close in quality. It indeed is. For only 7 cars on the grid, it's very, very close between the top 4. So this also promises a lot. But yeah, you basically don't know where other people might attack. And the track knowledge is around the same for everyone, but everyone has a different feel for where you can do what. Especially as people are, some are better on the throttle, some are better on the brakes. And it's everyone's game in the end. Seems like Feltert and Florian practice a lot. I think they did. But very strong times. Kirk is also already congratulated to the Peso history. But it really is impressive. Nobody really could get close to the Mackenbergs except for Yuval Rosen so far. So this is really a great achievement by those two. Let's see what they can do in the race. Seen in the race, they had done great maneuvers, especially if you think about Florian Arndt at Spa or Radoslav Piatkowski at, I think it was, which race was it? I think third round was it? At forgot the name. That's embarrassing. At Hockenheim it was a decent performance, just the ball down. At Imola it was a great performance. Weiß was just super consistent. All over the season. But yeah, coming back to the topic. Everybody has a different understanding on where you can do what with the car. So yeah, I think that could be very great racing and I'm really looking forward to it. Also, Assen was a track that I think many people liked. So yeah, I thought a few more people would join in just on the post-factory race on Assen finally. But let's see. You can see during warm-up people trying a bit of different things, just driving, just getting another feel for the car with heavier weight due to the fuel. It's also the longest. No, it's not the longest race. In terms of laps, every race is around equally long. So this, in terms of lap, it's the second longest race. In 2 weeks, we will have the finale at Spielberg. So it will be the home race for Florian Arment there. Today is it's home race for Rooks to be. In 2 weeks, it will be home race for Florian Arment. It will be 15 laps, and I think it will be a very great spectacle to watch with the long straights and slipstreaming. So impressive that the Dutch managed to build a track I like less than Zandvoort. Well, therefore your pace is quite good, I'd say, Sven. But yeah, Rock is also saying they are very quick. Some more luck to need some luck to get more than P5. See how it plays out during the race. If it's that close, anything can happen. Obviously, no one hopes for contact, especially on such a great, on such a small but great grid. So yeah, basically anything can happen. We've seen some crashes building up in the last 2 races because the heat was just very high at some point. But those are also some of the top guys in KCG overall. So let's see. So Gabe Bingham managed to get back on the server, fortunately. Very cool to see it. I didn't know if you can. It seems like the internet is just dying all the time. I don't know. Maybe need to sort that out. But where were I forgot. Anyways, what was I talking about? I think nobody should hire me as a professional commentator for racing events. So yeah, Sven and Mackenberg on the rear end of Florian Arment there. That's what I meant. You can really get pulled along on those long straight as it's all flat out. In GT4 cars you really have to get off the throttle for the kinks a bit, but in those cars it's all flat out, even the left-hander. So if other cars better, yeah, might be. I mean, TT Circuit Assen is a MotoGP track if I'm not mistaken, in its original form. So yeah, obviously it's not made for Formula and touring cars usually, but it's still great for it in my opinion. I really like to drive it. It has kind of a nice flow to it. It's a bit harder to get used to for me. I don't really get the braking markers and stuff, but overall very fun track, especially in cars with a lot of grip and not too much power. I've driven it with GT3, GeForce and TTMs, and obviously the Formula 3 cars. And I think out of all of them, I enjoyed it most with the Formula 3 cars actually, because it like the third sector is kind of boring with them. There I prefer the GT3 and GT4 cars, but in the other part just has such a good flow to it, and with the banking and the turns, they also are much grippier and bitier than they are before. But yeah, now we get onto the grid. I hope I have everything correct. Got 5 lights. And we go racing at the TT circuit Assen. And it seems like Sven Mackenberg didn't really have the best of starts, flowing out already in front and rocks the B up into P4, maybe P3. Mackenberg meanwhile having a good start. But now on the outside for turn 2 and flowing out now on the inside. Can he keep it alongside flowing out, Mackenberg? Yes, he kinda can, but not. No, Florian Arndt managed to get in front. And there's contact between the Mackenbergs and rocks the B. And Radoslav Fetkowski also got catching that. Couldn't really see what happened there. But yeah, it's contact between the two Polish drivers. It seems like his wheel is off center as well. So there seems to be some sort of suspended damage for Radoslav Fetkowski. Because of the collisions with, I think it was Sven Mackenberg. And that also means Markus Schadron moved up into 5th place. And Florian Arndt currently just taking off. Checked out 1 second in front of Marvin Mackenberg. And rocks the B up into P3. Doing that mess. But now we get onto the back straight. Florian Arndt might be out of slipstream range. And Marvin Mackenberg needs to look behind because Roxy B is now launching and check to the inside. We're close between those two and Sven Mackenberg just watching, waiting for the opportunity. And Marvin Mackenberg is heading for the pit, so he obviously has some suspended damage. I think his left rear tire was touched in all of that mess, basically. And Radoslav Piatkowski, meanwhile, having a look on the inside of Markus Schadron. Doesn't launch it up there, just waits more. But yeah, obviously that's very, very unfortunate for Marvin Mackenberg. And if Sven Mackenberg can carry on like it is, he will gain a lot of points on him, which will be crucial for the championship. Currently very close to Roxy B, who is into 2nd. Obviously we will investigate the incident after the race. It seems like just this chain reaction and close to the curb there. You can also see the different lines being taken. Now Sven Mackenberg lost a lot of speed and Markus Schadron to the inside. Leave each other room. And Radoslav Piatkowski just watching from behind. Sven Mackenberg managed to keep in front and now Radoslav Piatkowski is having a look on the inside. Friedrich also going a bit wide there. But that now allowed Roxy B to have a bit of a gap to Sven Mackenberg. That the slipstream might not be powerful enough to launch an attack. At the same time, Radoslav Piatkowski got past Markus Schadron at the exit. Is now having a look down the inside. Is looking for that gap, and you can see you can even take the most inside line at basically flat out. Mackenberg's his suspension is completely broken. At least he's driving again. But might not be the last time we see a broken suspension. As also the curbs really can just basically break them if you take them too much. Or accidentally drive over them. You can see many different lines there. And Florian Arndt currently just way faster than the rest of the grid. 3 seconds the gap to Roxy B. Oh, and that's Roxy B taking a lot of curb, taking off, and that will most likely be a broken suspension. Let's watch the steering wheel. That seems to be fairly straight. So maybe got out of there with a blue eye. But that was a close one for now. Didn't have the greatest exit. And now Sven Mackenberg is right behind him. Obviously chooses to get on the inside for the left-hander. Now can he hang on to it? Roxy just seems to lack speed. Obviously we have fixed setups in those cars. Now he wants wide. So maybe his suspension did suffer some damage. But he seems to struggle a lot with the car currently. Where in the background you can see Mateusz Friedrich fighting it out for P5, that is. But RoxCB seems to have a problem with his suspension. At least he can't go with the grip, or he has tires that are colder than the cars around him have. Might also be the case, but after that stunt, I don't think it is. Now Sven Mackenberg on clean air is catching. It's a bit faster than Florian Arben at the moment. 11 laps to go. So obviously now he sees the chance to at least get close to wrapping up the championship. Mark Shadron still right behind Mateusz Friedrich. Obviously wants to try counter on the next straight if possible. And now Sven Mackenberg has made a mistake. Completely missed that one. Has made his mistake and now walks to B, is back into P2, and Radoslav Kwiatkowski fell a bit off as well. So yeah, it's really what I said at the beginning. Nothing is... Yeah, basically everything is open for anyone. As people do mistake, misjudge slipstream, dirty air. Obviously in that case he didn't have dirty air, but just misjudge the car's behavior under load. The track conditions in certain corners and stuff. It seems like Sven Mackenberg really is faster, just needs to find his way back again. Now first slipstream opportunity. It's not long enough to really launch it up the inside, but at least you can get close. And if you are close from the start of the straight, you might even be able to launch an attack. Or at least force your opponent into defending a bit. Therefore sacrificing entry speed and maybe even exit speed. Friedrich going a bit wide there. Watch it from Radoslav Kwiatkowski's car. And also compare to the next car for now. Now you can see Sven Mackenberg is getting the one on RoxCB, just isn't close enough again. He wants to go around the outside to be on the right hand side for the chicane, so you can always see people experimenting. Usually they always took the left side to attack for the long left-hander, as you would presume that you will gain some time there, so you have the shorter route to take, and now having a look up the inside into turn 1. But yeah, just now trying to get on the outside to have the right-hander for the chicane, because if you have the inside there, you are very likely to basically get past or get the track position. And now launching it into the hairpin contact between those two, and RoxCB spins on the curb, and that now allows Radoslav Kwiatkowski to take the position. And RoxCB spun out on the curb after the contact. That's very unfortunate for him. It's a great race until then. Sven Mackenberg fell down to third, or is still in third, still. Yeah. Really lots of action actually for such a small grid. Florian Arben just extending his lead, now 4.7 seconds. Obviously he has just clean air in front of him. Now 8 laps to go after this one. Also, Sven Mackenberg seems to struggle to keep on with the pace of Radoslav Kwiatkowski. He also had a very, very good qualifying lap. And maybe Sven Mackenberg also suffered some damage from now having a look up the inside again. Just enough speed on the outside. And it's again a drag race. Yeah, just not enough road. Also, keeping out of slipstream, doesn't want to get too close for this series of corners where you obviously need the downforce and where dirty air is a big topic. So now Mackenberg obviously closing in after the repairs, but I think just too far away. 60 seconds in 8 laps. Bit too much to ask for, I think. My Markus Schadron closing in on Mateusz Friedrich currently. And Sven Mackenberg now super close again to Radoslav Kwiatkowski after the slipstreaming. Not close enough to launch an attack and also not close enough to do something into turn 1, I guess. Closing in again, but the front stretch just isn't close long enough. And now Markus Schadron very close behind Friedrich. Friedrich running over the curbs there. Some info about Markus Schadron. Had 3 podiums in the mini-season we did back in winter of 2021. And was very successful in the 650S, obviously, a season where many people went for some unusual car choices. But was very successful with it. And obviously is part of the well-known G2N community. Very cool guys, I talked about them earlier in the stream. Nordschleife specialists. So if you want to race on Nordschleife or want some tips or need help on Nordschleife, they are the people to ask. And he's driving the 24 Ergo machinery. And he's always using a bit of time, quite a lot of time at the end of sector 2, but obviously due to the slipstream he's gaining it all back on the straight. And also Sven Mackenberg lost the slipstreaming to Radoslav Kwiatkowski. Now very close, just having a look but not going for anything into turn 1. He maybe also just waits for the last opportunity. Just tries to get faster through the second sector and then do an attack on the last lap to, yeah, basically doesn't allow Friedrich to counter. To be closing in on those two. He is faster than them, but it's also still 3 seconds to go. Let's watch this steaming wheel. It's not really off center. It's a bit off center to the left. It's annoying, but not undrivable. No, Max Schadron dragging a bit too deep into the fast right-hander. But a very easy corner to misjudge. Just so he doesn't fall out of slipstream. Flo and Arend at the front. Radoslav Kwiatkowski currently is catching up a bit here and there and then losing time again. So it's really a back and forth between those two. But 6 seconds is a long time. A lot of time. For only 5 laps that remain. Sven Mackenberg just, yeah, out of slipstream. Let's see if we can get back up to the pace he had before. So the closest battle we currently have is Schadron vs Friedrich. He's also currently not in the close slipstream race. He still gets a bit of slipstream, but not as much. And he is a bit faster in the first sector. You can see how much time you already gained by just hitting that apex. It's a very important apex, to say the least. into the fast right-hander. You really need to commit to the corner. It's again a bit too wide, but nothing too serious. Still gained a bit of time there. Can really hear the car understeering at the moment. Maybe cold tires, maybe just a bit too much steering lock. Oh, and someone's gone off. That's Sven Mackenberg going off into the gravel trap. And that now allows Mateusz Friedrich and Markus Schadron to get past. Or just misjudged his braking point or locked up. So now he is in 5th, and that now isn't too bad for Marvin, obviously. Now Markus Schadron having the look to the outside, now again to the outside, but Friedrich just places this car where he needs to be. But Schadron with the better exit, Friedrich to the inside. And without the slipstream, he just can't get close enough. Now into turn 1. Markus Schadron being a bit more to the inside, but then having to get off the throttle to not run into Friedrich. And Sven Mackenberg watching from behind. Probably also just wanting to launch an attack. So he wants to get past. Obviously the positions are very important for him. Obviously Schadron won't count for the other drivers for the points tally. He will still receive the points for his position, but Sven Mackenberg currently would get 4th position. Points for 4th position. But he obviously wants to get Friedrich behind him, as he would give him 3 more points. Currently 4th, Sven Mackenberg and Markus Schadron would get 12 points and Friedrich 15. There you can see how Schadron is just struggling to get out of the corner before the long straight. So now having looks but just can't launch a slingshot attack. It's also a very tricky one because you always have those left and right hand kings, which basically allow you to switch the line. Now Sven with the better exit, just Schadron already bring to the outside, leaving him space. But he's defending. He's later on the brakes, just carrying more speed through the corner. Oh, and that's Marvin Mackenberg having problems. Or probably just waited to have to drive 1 lap less. But the battle between these 3 cars will be close. Let's see what Schadron does. Let's see what Mackenberg does. And the one who is profiting the most of this is Roxy B, who's currently only 1 second behind those. And he's also seeing Sven Mackenberg being like, hold on, didn't you spin me out, maybe? So as said earlier, everything's possible in this race for everyone. Looks we now also in slipstream range. Schadron couldn't keep as close to the car of Mateusz Friedrich. Can we see how Sven Mackenberg takes much more curb on the inside of the left-hander there? Looking for a gap to appear, but doesn't now Sven Schadron going a bit wide, but obviously that's one of the many lines you can take through those turns. So you can see all 3 drivers taking a different line into the very slow left-hander. Sven Mackenberg getting the most out of it. And look at Roxy B now filling out the mirror of Sven Mackenberg as well. Maybe Mateusz Friedrich is the one who also can profit a lot of this fight. I can hear some tires screeching. I don't know if it's due to them. Oh no, it's Marvin Mackenberg I don't know. Oh, and now Sven Mackenberg to the inside of Sven Chadron. Now, who does VoxDB stick with? Bump drafting is a thing. And he sticks with Markus Chadron. Cuts off Sven Mackenberg there. I don't know. Was a bit dodgy there, but chassis. So currently VoxDB in front of Marvin Mackenberg. But Markus Chadron is still in fourth. And Florian Arndt on his last lap. 9 seconds clear for Radoslav Piatkowski. Look at this train. Mateusz Friedrich leading them. Oh, and VoxDB spins out, sleuthing the rear end on the curb yet again. I mean, Sven Mackenberg retook that position. Also means Sven Mackenberg now has a gap to the cars in front without being able to catch on. But Florian Arndt wins the first race at the TT circuit Assen. He's got a new winner in KCG. It's first time on the podium as well. And Radoslav Piatkowski coming in second. Maybe his first second place of the season, I don't know. But what a performance by these two drivers who will also start on the front row for the next race. Mateusz Friedrich also his first podium in the season. Better said, the first podium in KCG. Markus Chadron coming in fourth place. Very good performance by him. Sven Mackenberg and Marvin Mackenberg, they both won't be that happy, I think, with their result, but it was a lot of case. They will start 5th and 7th in the next race as well. And VoxDB in between in 6th also, after such a great starting phase, opening phase, being 6th, probably not the best result for him, but still, there's a second race to go. Marvin Mackenberg clinching fastest lap. But what a race it was. And yeah, I guess some of the Radoslav Piatkowski actually had 2 second place finishes, I just noticed. So he basically got 2 new people on the podium and 1 new winner to KCG. Need to rejoin the server in a second. Need to wait a bit until the race is over. But yeah, what I just need to see if I did everything right. So 25 points for Arendt, 18 for Piatkowski, 15 for Friedrich, 12 for Sven Mackenberg and Markus Chadron, 10 for VoxDB and 8 for Marvin Mackenberg. You're also saying I finished. Well, if you have nothing to lose, why not push as much as you want to know? At least that's what I think. So now let's hope I can hop in. Okay. So standings obviously changed a bit. We've now got 16 points between Sven and Marvin Mackenberg, 173 to 157. Still not impossible to catch up. So yeah, I think possible there. 133 points for Radoslav Piatkowski, so that's 24 points. And then Nagy still in 4th with 78 points, but Mateusz Friedrich 70 points now, up into 5th position, Vox to be into 7th position, and Florian Arment with the same points, 65 for both of them, in 7th and 8th. And then, yeah, that's it for the drivers to race today, basically. Markus had 12 points, theoretical 14th, together with Kasper Castellan. So yeah, got a second race coming up. Florian Arment will start from pole position for this one. Václav Kwiatkowski will start alongside him. So between those two it will be very promising because both had great pace during the race. So let's see. I mean, this time also Florian doesn't have, I don't think he will have the, let's say, carnage behind to cost Václav time. So it could be quite close between those two. And also the Mackenbergs have every opportunity to close in on the others. Same goes for Vox to be, same goes for Mateusz. So basically everyone has the chance to win, I think. Obviously it will be harder for the guys who are a bit slow overall on this track, but it's still possible just by keeping out of trouble and doing the right moves at the right time. But everyone's in for anything. Also with the suspension damage, yeah, I mean, Marvin Mackenberg had pace but just no suspension to race with, so anything can happen. I don't know, maybe Marvin, you can tell us, was it because of the contact with the suspension on the rear left, or was it just too much curb or something else? Couldn't really see the impact on screen because of the camera angle. It was because of, yeah, that's very unfortunate. It was 3 cars going for one spot. It's just too much, I guess. But yeah, that's what I meant before. Just people seeing different options to dive or to get alongside people. And I think it looked like a situation where Sven tried to dive from view and meanwhile Vokus tried to dive from view and meanwhile Sven tried to dive from Vokus, because you also can't see a lot into those corners, at least from my experience. So going through some of the maths. So basically, Mateusz Friedrich, if he finishes, will already get 4th in the standings. And Roxby and Florian Arment both had the opportunity to get into 4th. Yeah, we are right. General suspension damage on the rear axle is very hard to drive. But yeah, second race coming up now. Just forget what was last race, concentrate on this one. We see all drivers ready on the grid. Got 5 lights. And we go green for the second time in Assen. Bit of rear spin in the back, and Florian Arndt seems to have a great start already in front of Radoslav Piatkowski. Behind them, it's 3 wide into the first corner. Roxy going around the outside of Markus Stadon. Sven Mackenberg into third position currently, but Mateusz Friedrich on the inside to counter. And there's contact between Roxy and Sven Mackenberg. Sven Mackenberg going wide. Bit more of rear scratching. Mackenberg not able to make up positions. There have been more contact between the drivers. I think Markus Stadon was involved there. Florian Arndt and Radoslav Piatkowski at the front. Doing a bit of a gap there. Mateusz Friedrich taking a lot of curb, taking off on the with the inside wheels. I hope he doesn't have too much damage. Maybe he got away like Rox did last race. Now Rox just trying to have a look on Sven Mackenberg right behind him. Got past Markus Stadon. And now Marvin having a look on Rox and Sven getting past Mateusz Friedrich, who ran right, and now the whole train is following through. Bit of contact between Marvin Mackenberg and Mateusz Friedrich there. Look how close it is. At the front also, Radoslav Piatkowski closing in on Florian Arndt. Not close enough to launch an attack probably. Let's look at what happens behind. It's way closer. Seems like they kept in the same order. Now Radoslav Piatkowski, is he trying to look for the inside? No, he isn't. So Mateusz Friedrich, because of the exit, lost a lot of time there. Markus Stadon also not having the greatest apex. Now it's again super close between those 3 who had the contact in the first race. Marvin Mackenberg will be desperate to make up ground here. Mateusz Friedrich also having the better launch of the tight left-hander. See if he can convert it into something. No, he just stays behind for now. At the front, Radoslav Piatkowski keeps it close with Florian Arndt. Stays behind just in the right spot to maybe get the slingshot with the better exit. But both drivers really setting great times at the moment. 2 seconds to Sven Mackenberg already. And now Marvin Mackenberg also getting closer to Roxy. Radoslav Piatkowski yet again just close enough to be right behind him. And now Marvin Mackenberg can't go around the outside, looks like. Obviously if you can get alongside for the chicane, be an advantage for you. And Markus Stadon again in front of Mateusz Friedrich. We can't go quite the pace of Sven Mackenberg. Also Marvin seems to be a bit faster as well. But this is now the advantage for Sven Mackenberg, obviously, as he doesn't really have to worry about a car behind. Unlike Rokus, who loses time because of that, because in some spots he just has to defend. Most notably the end of the run to the start finish. Mateusz Friedrich also now on the inside. So look, I think in that part of the track you just need to keep it behind as close as possible to get the one down the long straight. And now again, Marvin Mackenberg close to the outside. Now he has that advantage on the inside, but Rox just breaks later. But now Marvin Mackenberg with the better exit. Can he get close for turn 1 to try something? Doesn't seem like it. Having a look, but it's putting him under pressure, but can't get past. Taking a lot of curb here. can really see how it just tries to throw the wheel around in the tight left hand to get the car rotated as much as possible and get on the throttle way earlier. You can see the slipstream gets you very close, but not close enough. But now Raucous runs wide, deep into the corner, can't carry it as much speed, but still manages to keep it in front. They're both taking a lot of curb on the inside there. You can see there in the distance Sven Mackenberg really just gaining a lot of time, already 2 seconds. But now this time Marvin Mackenberg already alongside Raucous. Now through the left-hander, can he hang on? Not quite again. But it's super close between the two of them. But he had the better exit and now is alongside 410-1. Is he able to brake late? No, Roxy goes around the outside, carries more speed and keeps it in front yet again. They both just put everything into it. Rox defending as much as he can. And Marvin Mackenberg searching for every little opportunity. Obviously not just diving it into the inside, but just cleverly deciding where to do this. And now he beaches his car on the curb and runs wide. That's super unfortunate for him. Has nothing to do with anyone. Just running wide, but he came out in front of Mateusz Friedrich at least. So he didn't lose a net position. But yeah, he just wanted to maximize the corner too much, wanted to get as far to the outside as possible and just beach it on the curb. And that is the dangerous thing on this track, because the curbs are quite high compared to other tracks we've raced on. And you can beach the car, and if you beach the car, you obviously don't have traction. And then you just lock up and go straight on. But it's still the battle for the lead between Florian Arment and Radoslav Piatkowski. They both can keep the distance to Sven Mackenberg though. So he's not able to get that close. Overall he gains a bit of time, but not enough. But it's still a long way to go. You can also see different lines taken by Florian Arment and Radoslav Piatkowski. Florian taking a bit of a wider line, carrying more speed, and Radoslav just going more to the inside to carry more speed through the turn. Here Radoslav having to go off the throttle for a very quick moment. Therefore losing a lot, not a lot, but a bit of speed he needs. Now he's also not trying to get alongside, he's just waiting to get a good exit. Now Juszczyk taking a lot more curb on the first part. And now if he can get close enough in one lap, he might try it into turn 1. That's why he kept his nose out of it. Now Shed 1 just letting Marvin Mackenberg pass there. He has nothing to gain from it, and Marvin Mackenberg also has nothing to gain from overtaking. It's maybe the better situation was, and there was a bit of contact. I don't think it was. I think it was more netcode like. But that means Radoslav Piatkowski lost a lot of exit speed there, and now suddenly Sven Mackenberg is right behind. And maybe this opens the gap for Florian Arment to just run away with it. But the cars behind start to fight. Obviously in this sector he doesn't have the dirty air anymore, Radoslav Piatkowski. And now it will be crucial, the exit for the long straight. Having quite a good exit there, like a bit of oversteer. 8/10, that is only a bit of slipstream left for Radoslav Kwiatkowski, who now has to look behind him because Sven Mackenberg is just appearing big. And Marvin Mackenberg, something happened to him. Marvin Mackenberg is stationary. At least driving. I don't know what happened to him. Steering wheel still straight at least. 7 laps to go. But both Mackenbergs just having some struggles with the track, it seems like. And that's the great thing about racing at new tracks, because it's so unpredictable. Like, obviously the Mackenbergs are some of the greatest drivers in race room. I think everyone who watched a few races knows that. But just having some of the, let's say, underdogs, being able to fight with them and being on pace, if not faster, it's just something you can usually only see on tracks where everyone has the same base of experience. Because everyone is prone to do mistake and everyone has the same opportunity to practice, but you don't really gain something from track experience. It's just something very special. Then Sven Mackenberg getting close again. A bit of a better one through the chicane. But again, not close enough for move into turn 1. A bit too much on the curb. The curb costs you time if you take too much of it, especially if you get behind the red, blue and white part, because you not only beat the car but you also lose a lot of traction on the green white curb. So there's like 2 curbs right behind each other, and at low speeds, if you need to get the power down, the second curb really costs a lot of time because you don't get the power. But now having a look at the inside, Radoslav Kwiatkowski just taking more speed to the outside. Just having a look everywhere he can, so Mackenberg. And Marvin Mackenberg is closing in Motorsport durch. So in this part of the track you can take the second curb because you have the downforce, you already have the speed. You are not as prone to... Oh, meanwhile, side by side, Sven Mackenberg to the inside, the long left-hander. Radoslav Kwiatkowski is still in it, but around the outside, Sven Mackenberg. Now into second place. Now can his brother follow with the same move? Taking a lot of curb there. But he is on the outside. But he's still alongside Friedrich, braking later. He's taking a lot of curb, but just respecting each other's space, and now Mackenberg is free. Great move by both of them. So great defending by the other two, and a lot of respect given there. Now can Radoslav Kwiatkowski get closer to Sven Mackenberg again and maybe try a counter-attack? Let's have a look at the lap times when they both have a valid one. So Florian Armin drove a 129.629. Sven Mackenberg a 129.597, so around 3 hundredths faster. And Radoslav Kwiatkowski 132. It's a bit slower, quite a bit slower, but might also just be because of the overtaking maneuver and the lost exit speed out of the chicane, as overall the gap was quite consistent afterwards, just a tiny bit slower. I'll have a look at it this lap again. It seems like Sven Mackenberg is just able to carry more speed through this wide and long left-hander combination. He gains around 1.5 to 2/10 there every lap on Radoslav. But hopefully she's actually able to, at least with the slipstream, keep it quite close behind Marvin Mackenberg. Oh, and now Radoslav Kwiatkowski suddenly made up a lot of time. Sadly, Sven's last lap is invalid, so he can't compare it. Gained 3/10 out of nowhere. And a bit more yet again. Steering wheel is still straight. Obviously you can't see those very slight off centers, which can also have an impact, but currently Feldhardt is closing in. And it's still, after this one, 2 laps to go. Now again in the slipstream, closing in now around 3/10 the gap. Let's see, 2 laps to go. Between those two, can get very close, or will be very tight between the two of those. Between the two of them. Florian Arndt extended his lead to 2.5 seconds by now, so he's I'm pretty sure he's basically out of that fight for the rest of the race, even if he does a minor mistake. Radoslav Kwiatkowski suddenly finds a lot of pace, it seems like. Visually even looks like he can go faster than Sven at the moment, even though before it looked like Sven was the one who had the pace advantage. Keeping it more to the inside. So obviously you don't want to take this lap, but the next one. I mean, he's not close enough to attack now, obviously, but also into turn 1. Here you have the best overtaking opportunity. If you can get a good exit of the previous turns. But it's not easy. He's much more aggressive on the apexes. Now keeps it more to the outside than Sven does. Very different lines between those two. Now, how good is the exit of those two drivers? Both had a very good exit. Władysław Kwiatkowski closing in of Florian Arendt. Oh, and Władysław Kwiatkowski to the outside. Sven Mackenberg keeps the pin, and Florian Arendt comes across the line. Second win in 2 races. What a weekend for him. What a race day for him. Congratulations. Sven Mackenberg manages to keep it in front of Władysław Kwiatkowski, so he gets the 2nd place. And Władysław Kwiatkowski, yet another podium. Never see the donuts. What a day for Florian Arendt. 2 wins. Before he had 40 points, he more than doubled his points tally in 1 day. Roxy comes in 4th. Markus Scheidt 5th. Marvin Mackenberg was able to salvage 6th after the curb incident, and Matthäus Friedrich in 7th. Oh, he also had some damage in the end. But what a performance it has been. So let's just get the points. Let's just fill in the points. Scheidt 1 and Marvin Mackenberg both get 10 and Friedrich another 8. And that now leads us to a new total of 191 to 167. And after this race it looks completely different yet again. So now the gap is up to 24 points, but Władysław Kwiatkowski is only 23 points behind Marvin Mackenberg. So he's also in at least for 2nd place. If Sven Mackenberg shouldn't DNF in both races, he can't win. But yeah, still, for the 2nd place, everything is open, and also for 1st place, still the opportunity for Marvin Mackenberg. Especially because we have to investigate some of the incidents today. But yeah, then Florian Arendt got from 40 points to 90, now into 4th. Oliver Siginosh on 78 points, tied with Matthäus Friedrich. So he just tied for the position I thought he was on overtake. So yeah, both on 78 points. Rokus CB just 1 point behind, one on 77 points. So also got a few positions there. Overtook Rosen and Andreasen. Markus Scheidt won as a guest starter, 22 points. So also into an 11th spot. Sorry for my voice, I'm a bit ill. But yeah. That's it for today. It really was... That was incredible to watch, for me at least. And yeah. Next week will be Zandvoort in the Race Room Rank Championship. In 2 weeks time we will have the final race of KCG Season 3. I will also announce, can already tell you that Season 4 will be announced. At least what cars and tracks we will drive. And yeah, I think it will be very exciting to watch. This race was already crazy. And I mean, Red Bull Ring is just that with more. We have 15 laps, so it's also the longest race in terms of laps. Long straights, high downforce sections. So basically, what more do you want? And I wish you a great evening, have a great time. See you next time. Goodbye.